3, 2, 1, action.
They're really bending over backwards for this shot.
Kathleen.
This week, we've got Isaac Newton, a ghost ship, a lovable robot, some giant limbs and deadly doubles. Welcome to Doctor Who Unleashed. Oh, that's my line.
Coming up, we'll find out how we get from this...
Can't control it!
...to this... ...to this.
Can't control it!
We'll find out the secrets behind the Doctor's giant hands and get to grips with how they work.
There we go.
That's amazing.
And spoiler alert, we've got a worldwide exclusive clip from next week's episode. Welcome to Doctor Who Unleashed, the show that gets you backstage access to the Whoniverse. In this episode, we're going to lift the lid on Wild Blue Yonder, the second of the Doctor Who 60th anniversary specials. But be prepared, there are going to be spoilers.
And the first thing you need to know is that we are filming this in July 2022. It is the hottest summer on record. Out there, it is 37 degrees. And in here, the filming schedule is fast and it's frantic.
And it appears to be doing strange things to the actors' bodies.
I don't know why, but the arms are so very difficult.
But how do they do that? Inside this metal box are 204 cameras and David Tennant. Close your eyes now, if you don't like bright flashes.
And 3, 2, 1. Brilliant, and relax.
Okay, you can open them again.
30-second review.
This rig is a 3D body capture system. The cameras are taking 360 images of David. Sorry, could you close your eyes again?
And 3, 2, 1. Great, and relax.
Okay, it's safe. The images are converted into digi-doubles. And it scans similar to this that Millennium Effects use to create prosthetics for David and Catherine. And 3 weeks later, those prosthetics were ready for testing.
Wow, that's brilliant! That's amazing! And how does it go? How does it...
So if you put your arm in, and then you should feel a bar just past there.
What do I do with shirts? Do we just...
And you've got a special shirt.
Yeah.
It's going to go like till here. So you should be able to squeeze it.
There's like a little trigger, so you go further than that.
Yeah. Further round. That's it. There we go. Yeah.
That's amazing. Very clever. Is that from the scan of one's actual arm?
When are you putting the hand on? What?
See, she comes from college.
What?
Action.
My arm's too long. Look.
And it wasn't just David who got the prosthetics.
I had a very long arm and an extra leg. She's got a leg that doesn't, she's got a double knee. She's got a double knee, like a cat with double paws. She's got a double knee, which was, fun.
But not as much fun as me introducing David to his prosthetic double.
Oh, Jesus, what's that? I can't see Jesus on the telly. Man, that's weird.
Hello, mate.
Hi.
Don't mind me.
Oh, it's quite...
What do you think?
I think it's beautiful. I think I might kiss you.
Do you want to kiss? You can kiss you can kiss them yourself and the top of my forehead.
I think that might not make... Oh, there's a lot of product in that
they
here.
want you on set now.
Oh, do they?
You know they want you.
Okay, cool.
Oh, God, it's you!
Do you think I can do it?
Isn't that weird?
And it didn't stop there. There were even prosthetic teeth.
So the good thing about this next scene is it's really something you can sink your teeth into.
3, 2, 1, action.
Did I prefer the teeth or the arm? Teeth, 100%, because they're going to be much easier for me to smuggle out. I could just put them in my pocket. If I was going to smuggle them out, I wouldn't wear them.
Just updating my profile pic on Tinder.
Where's the arm? I mean, I'd have to go some to just say to him, bye. Bye.
That's it. We made it to the end of the day.
We just about completed it in time.
By the skin of our teeth.
The majority of the action in Wild Blue Yonder takes place on a ship floating at the very edge of the universe, aka Stage 3 at Wolf Studios. Like all of the new sets across these specials, it's been designed by Phil Simms and his team. Phil's credits include Star Wars, Captain America, and Guardians of the Galaxy. Before it was called into action, Phil gave me a sneaky tour of the flight deck whilst it was still under construction.
Oh wow, this is it then, Phil?
Yeah, so this is it was the antechamber, and we're now revamping it into a space called the industrial room.
And you're mid. I mean, I can see the nails on the floor. So you're halfway through.
We're mid. We don't clean up till the last thing, so the floor's dirty.
Yeah. Do you often like repurpose and reuse sets in a program like this?
Yeah, lots. I mean, to sort of get the most value out of the set and to make the budget stretch as far as we can. We're reusing as much as we can and recycling wherever we can.
In the episode itself, this repurposed set is where the salt sequence was shot.
Salt! You can't cross salt. In our universe, it is said that vampires, demons, and ghosts cannot cross a line of salt until they've counted every single grain.
And the detail in the set is pretty incredible.
So what was the inspiration behind the fuel cylinders? Because they do... You've sold me. I feel like this is powering a spaceship.
So, the script description of the flight deck is there's water bubbling through the set, there's water bubbling through the cockpit. It was the most exciting thing about it, because I've done quite a few cockpits, but I'd never had to incorporate water into it.
So talking of the little details, Phil, I've been spotting the alien language or the hieroglyphs that are sort of knocking around. Who designs those? Is there like a theme?
Our graphic designer, Stephen, comes up with all sorts of different languages and hieroglyphs, and together we kind of try to fathom out what the alien language might be. So in this case, our pilot is sort of equine, horse-like, and we thought what it would be like, you know, if they had hooves, how would they have communicated and their language might have developed. So maybe they sort of scratched with their hoof, and maybe they clopped with their hoof. And so these shapes are derived from scrapes and kind of maybe once upon a time in the equivalent Sanskrit for the horse aliens. That's where it came from.
That's a meeting I want to be in, Phil. That is a meeting I want to be in. Right, this morning I've cleared out everybody's diary. What today is with hieroglyphs for a horse's hoof.
Yeah, it's bonkers. I know. It sounds bonkers.
It's brilliant. It is bonkers, but it's brilliant.
So this is the filament room.
Yeah.
And the idea is that there's like a honey-like liquid, so maybe it's a reuse of the fluid or the liquid that's the lifeblood of this spaceship. And in this case, it's kind of like a computer room or a programming room. They're like blocks of code. The Doctor's rewiring or recoding or reprogramming the spaceship. In the script, there's an action where Doctor and Donna have to take elements from the filament and move them from one drawer to another drawer.
If we move one up.
Is that stuff dangerous?
No. I don't think so.
And the elements are in goo, like a honey. I mean, in our case, it's actually hair gel.
Oh, there it is. That is the spongy hair gel. You can have orange hair now. It's gonna be great. It's something I've always been interested by. Because I remember watching a documentary once about famous sci-fi programs of the past where when doors open, there's literally somebody stood behind it waiting and you know, yanking a pulley or whatever. Is that actually, is that how, is it the same with you?
No, they're all really mechanical and pneumatic and hydraulic, and they use the water stuff of the spaceship and that's how they work. Which roughly translates to, we've got people with pulleys going like that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And on this one...
I thought there'd have been a button or something by now, but no.
No, it's funny, it can be quite stressful, that sort of conversation, because you need people to operate them, so if they're slidey doors like this, you've probably got one person or two people operating them. For these doors, we need one person operating each door. So in principle, if somebody walked from room to room to room, you'd either have one person chasing around, pulling lots of pulleys like a bell ringer, trying to close these doors, or you'd have somebody manning each door.
Yeah.
Still to come, more exclusive backstage access as we reveal how to keep cool in a heatwave.
I just love the fact that you've done all of this with an air conditioning tube on your jumper.
We show how David and Catherine shot a scene with Nathaniel Curtis
Sorry, we're just slightly out of control.
when they were 25 miles apart. And spoiler alert, we've got exclusive sneak footage from the riotous next episode. But first,
Stars are paying tribute to actor Bernard Cribbins, famous for his many roles, including Doctor Who. He's died at the age of 93.
among the galaxy of characters who have lit up the Whoniverse through the decades, none have been more popular or held more public affection than Donna's grandad, Wilfred Mott, played by Bernard Cribbins. Bernard first played Wilfred in the 2007 Christmas special, Voyage of the Damned.
Hello there. Where's everybody gone?
Well, it's them up above. Look, Christmas before last, we had that big bloody spaceship, everyone standing on a roof. And then last year, that Christmas star electrocuting all over the place.
For the next couple of years, Wilfred made regular appearances.
Shimmer! Oh, my lord. She's a cactus.
Forging a close bond with the Doctor.
I'd be proud.
Of what?
If you were my dad.
And famously taking on the Daleks with a paint gun.
You're welcome with me. Will I,
So when 93-year-old Bernard agreed to return to Doctor Who, there was joy all around.
We were beyond delighted when we knew that Bernard was going to be able to come back. It means so much to me personally, and I think to the show as a whole, really, that he was there.
Oh, my goodness, Donna.
That character meant so much to so many people.
Oh, now I feel better.
Bernard will always obviously hold a very special place in my heart because he always did, even before I knew him, because David and I kind of grew up with watching Bernard on TV, and he was the voice of the Wombles and loads of stuff that would define our childhood. And so having him play my granddad was amazing.
Just that twinkle. He was a magical human.
David? Oh, who? Oh, David, yes. Well, you know, you like that sort of thing. Naughty? Can I be naughty? I haven't retired. It's a dirty word. I'm just not chosen as much as I used to be, because I'm 93, you know, so not too much noise.
It's one of the great joys of my life that at the end of Bernard's career, at the end of his life, he came back to us to shoot what actually turned out to be his final scene. We didn't know that at the time, but he loved coming back. He had kind of retired, but he loved Doctor Who. He came to our read-through. He was there. We all went out for dinner. We had such a happy time. He was shooting in Camden. We wanted to do more because we love him. He wasn't well enough to do more, but that one scene he completed fills me with absolute joy. In those few seconds, there's everything he brings to the screen. He's joyous. He's worried. He's scared. He's full of love. He hugs Donna. He hugs the Doctor. It's pure Bernard. I am so glad we got to shoot that because it's one of the great joys of my entire life that I got to work with that man and I got to know him and got to be his friend. I love him. He's absolutely beautiful. And here he is at the end back in Doctor Who.
Sometimes, usually because of a clash with timings, actors can be in the very same scene together without ever actually coming face to face. It's crazy, but it's true. How do they do that? Let's find out.
When it came to filming the Isaac Newton scene in this special, Nathaniel Curtis, who plays the great man himself, was in a walled garden on the Welsh coast.
Of course.
When he was rudely interrupted by a low-flying TARDIS. Except the TARDIS and its occupants weren't in Isaac Newton's tree. The tree was empty.
What the devil?
They were 25 miles away in Cardiff Bay, filming on a different day.
Oh, sorry, we're just slightly out of control. My friend Donna, this is Donna Noble.
Hi!
Just dropped some coffee into the console. I just need to triangulate. Could you tell me what year this is?
It's 1666.
Oh, stay away from London.
Wait, what? So option one was to have the TARDIS in Isaac Newton's apple tree. But the insurers weren't keen on risking a time machine containing two of Britain's best-loved acting talents taking a 12-foot topple. So, we are on to option 2. David and Catherine filming against a blue screen in Cardiff, and Nathaniel talking to an empty tree in Southerndown.
This feels like very old school Doctor Who. We're in a car park with the TARDIS bounced on an old tyre. The TARDIS is balanced on an old tyre. We're by an incinerator plant. It's meant to suggest the TARDIS is in an apple tree.
And through the magic of computer software, the fake apple tree and the real apple tree are blended into one.
That's a rough key to what hopefully will look like with Sir Isaac Newton and TARDIS being cheated in. The camera never lies. And there's the original shot without the TARDIS. And now we're inserting that into here. And hopefully you'll never know. Well, you will know because we're giving it away.
Oh! Sorry, we're just slightly out of control. My friend Donna, this is Donna Noble. Hi! She just dropped some coffee into the console. But don't worry.
So although Nathaniel, David and Catherine share a scene, they never came face to face.
It's a shame, because I've met Nathaniel and he's really nice, and I would have liked to have had a scene with him.
I would have liked to have met him, but I've not met him.
Yeah, but apparently he asked not to have anything to do with us.
Yeah.
He asked to be kept apart. He was very particular. He accepted the part on that very strict condition.
I mean, I love David Tennant. I love David Tennant. He's such a lovely man, and B, he's like a brilliant Doctor. So, and I grew up watching David Tennant as the Doctor. So, I think that it's a bit surreal, to be honest.
It's got to be said, Mr. Isaac Newton, that you, above all others, you can appreciate
the gravity of the situation.
What was that delightful word? Shavity, Havity, Mavity.
After filming the Isaac Newton scene, that Mavity gravity ending was playing on Catherine's mind.
So is it still gravity? Or is it Mavity?
This is what I don't understand, OK?
Yeah.
I get that we meet Isaac Newton and he mishears us.
Yeah.
And instead of gravity, he says Mavity.
Yeah.
What I don't understand is, given that I was there,
yeah.
why do I now think it's Mavity? Has he gone to me? Look into my eyes, not around my eyes, but in my eyes.
No, it's time is linear, you see, even though we zip around in it. So when you said gravity, that's the word you'd learn.
Yes.
But then he mishears you. He changes it to Mavity, and because he's coining the phrase right there and then, he then changes history from that moment on.
You following this?
In that moment, when he changes it, it's like dominoes through temporal dominoes. Do that, and it affects everything from that moment. You change time. You change your own education system in that moment.
We're gonna have to cut this bit down a bit, aren't we?
I just love the fact that you've done all of this with an air conditioning tube up your jumper. I mean,
yeah.
We are filming this on the hottest days of 2022. Thank you.
Yes.
Think back.
When the world boiled, well, the UK did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even better up the back. Even better. Even better.
The bulk of Wild Blue Yonder is being filmed on stage 2 at Wolf Studios. It's basically a big green backdrop and what looks like a catwalk, which apparently will be turned into miles and miles and miles of a spaceship corridor.
How? Let's go back in time to find out.
Here we go.
More.
When David Tennant and Catherine Tate were playing the Doctor and Donna and scenes were filmed against a green screen, the background would be put in later in the edit suite. It was a time-consuming and expensive process, and the director was never 100% certain that they had shot things from the right angle and with the right framing until they were in the edit. But fast forward 15 years and David and Catherine are still acting against a green screen, but now a digital computer system is simultaneously creating a virtual set in the camera. And even though this isn't the final image, the director has a good idea of what it would look like whilst they're still in the studio.
What's cool about the system is that when we're on the monitor watching it live, when the actors are acting, we can see that digital background in.
We just landed! accident. Hope that's okay.
So partly we don't go mad, and we know what would be a good shot. We know how it's going to edit together, and if the camera's in the right place.
Cut! Thank you. Two great options there.
The way it works is that we put dots on the ceiling, like stars on the ceiling, a bit like a starscape. And the cameras track using those stars. So it's a bit like conventional green screen in a way, but obviously it's a lot more technical. This system has been used a lot in virtual studios, so live TV like sports events, for example.
So the crew get to view the virtual set in the studio, but it's at post-production house real time that the final CGI happens.
Let's go right back to basics, like a green screen plate. I've heard a lot of people talk about plates.
Yes.
And I was expecting lunch, and it was nothing to do with that at all. So what's going on?
Yes, so when obviously we're doing a CG environment or a CG creature, we'll shoot them on a green screen plate. That means the actors have a big green screen behind them, which we spend a lot of time ironing out and neatly making look nice. And it means that we can easily cut them out from the backdrop, just like the Weatherman, pretty much, same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we call that pulling a key. So when you pull the green off and make the background transparent, that's pulling a key.
But unlike traditional green screen, James and the team had already provided in-camera CGI footage to the crew on set. Which leaves me wondering, what's wrong with this?
What's wrong with it?
Yeah, like, it looks really good. Like, couldn't you put that on the telly? Obviously without the big hole in the corner.
Well, that was the bit I was trying to simplify, is that there isn't real, this lighting, we call it baked lighting. So
Right.
the lighting is actually static.
Oh, okay.
So the shadows aren't moving and everything is just basically a temporary representation of how the lighting will be in the end. So you could get, I mean, you could use that.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, but we just prefer to do something a bit posher.
A bit posher, yeah, okay.
And in this case, posh meant playing with the lighting, tone and textures and animating the walls and buttresses of the spaceship.
Seeing it move and twist and live here, what are you most pleased with?
Oh, that is a tricky question. It's a really boring answer.
No, what is it? What is it?
I really like the work we did with the floor. The match that we've done of the floor and the...
So the floor, there was
it had a weird shininess and a weird quality to it that was quite hard to do. We did it in Unreal. Looks really good.
Yeah,
it's a really boring answer.
No, that's not. So basically, we're saying this entire spaceship, and you like the full James the most.
Yeah.
So on every episode, I'm trying out a different job here on set to see what it's like, trying not to mess things up. And this time, I'm going to be a camera trainee in charge of thousands and thousands of pounds worth of camera equipment. What could possibly go wrong? So, what exactly does a camera trainee do other than make sure that none of the expensive kit gets broken or lost?
Yeah, so what we do at the start of the day is we set up a video village. So we set up all the monitors for everyone to have a look at.
Video village?
It's called Video Village. So essentially it's like 24-inch monitors that we'll set up for people like checks and makeup. We're looking after all the equipment, so that's pretty much from the cameras. We're looking after like the boards. We're looking after a lot of their like rigging equipment, so then whatever they rig onto the camera, we're pretty much protecting that, making sure none of that gets lost.
What was it about working on the camera that you were like, this is cool, this is what I really want to do?
I think it's just the fact that like it just looks so freaking amazing. Like you want to get yourself involved in that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And you want to know how everything is made, and you kind of appreciate the art of camera because it's the most hands-on.
Now, Kutsai, you've gone. This story's amazing. You've gone from working in Nando's to working on Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Now, how on earth does that happen? That's pretty cool, right?
I applied for this job, and I thought I fluked it. I thought it was a complete fluke, and I just completely messed it up. But then I got a call saying, yeah, I'm on. And I was like, you know what, guys? Chicken restaurant, done.
Done. Bye-bye.
Over. I literally went bye-bye, and they were like, wait, what? Why are you leaving? I was like, TV show. They're like, can you tell us? No, absolutely not.
Right, enough chicken chat. Time to make myself useful.
So for Stefan.
Stefan coming in.
Hello, mate. Could you run to the truck and get me some bits, please?
Yeah, that's fine. I can do truck. I can do truck and get bits. Yeah, it's fine.
What I hadn't realised is how demanding being a camera trainee is.
Okay, so
You on your way, Steph?
copy that.
When a loader asks for stuff, get ASAP. Come on, get with the ASAP. That is an Xbox.
Okay, now you do the Xbox. I'll go the crisps and the water. What
There we go.
I'm going to take the
Wallet.
just because. Have you got the wallet?
I've not got the wallet. No.
Is this the wallet?
No, that is not the wallet. You're forgetting these.
These.
Ooh.
Coffee cup. Keys, bingo. There's your wallet.
Thank you.
Water.
Thank you.
And cut
Didn't wanna-
size.
didn't wanna top it
I
up?
didn't
Okay.
want to top it up. No, I didn't have time.
Okay.
And this is your coffee cup.
Okay, thank you.
Come on, Steph, hurry up, quick. Come on, the camera team are waiting.
After doing the coffee run for the camera crew, it was time to cable bash.
So basically what we're going to do is we're going to cable bash. You've got to keep everything neat because anyone can trip over a cable.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is make sure we get this as neat as possible, tidy this up as quickly as we can. Sometimes it's helpful for the camera, so if the camera's on the move and there's a bunch of cables, someone will come in and be like, can you cable bash this for us?
Yeah.
So you just need to tie it as quickly as you can or like help it feed through.
So you're doing that all the time, all day,
We
every
are working
day.
with BNCs every single day.
Okay.
So my way of doing it,
Yeah.
so I grab this end of the
Uh-huh.
cable, I form a loop, and that's under.
Whoa. You do a what? I thought you just do this.
No, oh my God, no. If a loader saw you do that, I don't think they'd be happy with that.
So wait, what you
All right, let's make it easier. Put it here like this, in between your
This bit is not the problem. It's what you're.
Just form a normal loop. That's an over.
Whoa, why? Bear with me. This might take a while. I suggest you maybe go make a cup of tea, maybe watch all of the previous series of Doctor Who, maybe come back, and by then I might have learned how to turn this into a coil.
Yeah? It's shocking. This is unbelievable.
So, could say it's fair to say it's been a rough day.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So,
on to the next department.
Next time.
Excuse me, can you tell me, what are you doing? You'll get yourself killed. It's my life, not yours.
Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel.